Phobia. The word phobia describes, and I quote, an intense, irrational, and persistent fear of a specific object, situation, or activity. And that word irrational kind of gets my undies in a bunch, because who are you to tell me that my fear of cicadas is irrational? Do you know how cicadas are born? They hatch from their eggs and burrow into the ground. Then they emerge like the living dead, leave their creepy shells on trees, and fly into the night to screech like the Nazgul. They are zombie alien bugs, and I do not trust them. But we all have fears or phobias, and to call them irrational might apply in some circumstances. For example, cyanophobia, the fear of the color blue. Irrational, completely understandable. The color blue will not hurt you. Now, a blue knife can hurt you, but that's not the color's fault. The elves just don't like you. But let's look at some quote-unquote irrational phobias and see if they warrant that term. Acrophobia, the fear of heights. Now, let's be honest, this is a bad description of the fear. No one in their right mind is afraid of the height itself. We are afraid of falling to our doom. If I'm up in a plane, I'm not worried about how high up I am. I'm worried about plummeting from said height. Regardless, this is a very rational fear to have. Humans are not birds. We were meant to live on the ground. Now, there are some lunatics out there who love climbing high places and giving gravity the middle finger, but those people are psychopaths. And the thing is, humans have such a fear of heights and falling that even seeing it on a screen from the safety of our couch can give us the same anxiety. I remember seeing Mission Impossible 4 in theaters, and when Tom Cruise climbed the Burj Khalifa, I left fingernail marks in the seat that are probably still there today. I think the reason we fear it so much is because when you fall from a certain height, you're done. If I get attacked by a grizzly bear, there's a chance I'll survive. If I fall off a skyscraper, ain't no way. So yeah, completely rational fear. Mesophobia, the fear of germs. So germs are everywhere. You literally cannot escape them. The most sterile environment in the world has germs. There is no way to live without them. And to a degree, we need germs to build our immune systems and make them stronger. Now, that doesn't mean lick a stranger's doorknob, but don't be bathing yourself in hand sanitizer either. And sure, there's some germs out there that can get you really sick, but unless you're living in a less developed country or you don't have access to a hospital, you should be fine. The only group of people this is a rational fear for is anyone with a compromised immune system. Yeah, that would stress me out too. Irrational fear though. Coulrophobia, fear of clowns. Okay, this one needs to be updated because there's a big difference between being scared of Pennywise and being scared of this. Personally, clowns have never scared me. I've never had a problem with them, probably because I've known people who worked as clowns before and I can see past the painted smile. They're dead inside. But there are people, a surprising amount of people, who have a fear of clowns, whether scary or funny. Clowns freak them out. I guess it has something to do with the brain having a tough time recognizing facial emotions when the person you're looking at is covered in makeup and a fake grin, which makes your brain go, bro, what the f***? Are they angry? Are they happy? I can't tell. Get ready to run. But while there are some legitimately good reasons to be terrified of clowns, hell, one of the most horrifying serial killers of all time was a clown, there are plenty of reasons to not be afraid of clowns. For one, sometimes they're sexy. Think about that. Nomophobia, the irrational fear of being without a mobile phone. Now, I'm gonna sound like your dad here for a second, but bear with me. We are horribly dependent on our phones and mobile devices these days. Can't focus in school? It's because you're on that damn phone 24/7. When are you gonna get a job? On the other hand, we do live in a time where having a phone on us at all times can actually be life-saving. If we get into an accident in the middle of nowhere, or we get lost, or if there's an emergency, we have the ability to call for help immediately. Now, I can understand if you're on a camping trip or you're driving through a desert or something and realize you don't have your phone and being freaked out by that, that's a legit concern. But if you forget where you put your phone in the house and you start freaking out like a lunatic, stop what you're doing. Go outside, smell the fresh air, feel the grass, look at natural light and colors for a few minutes before you run back inside to scroll through Instagram. Irrational in most cases, let's say that. Omphalophobia, the fear of belly buttons. I was 100% sure this was bull until I looked it up. But yeah, some people, not a lot, but some people have a fear of belly buttons. It's a belly button. You have one of these. Do you just get out of the shower and look down and, is that you? Seek help. Very irrational. Absolutely irrational. Arachnophobia, an intense and irrational fear of spiders. This is a common one. And yeah, I think spiders can be freaky. If I see a spider crawling across the floor out of the corner of my eye, I'm a little unnerved. Except jumping spiders. I can never hate jumping spiders. These things are adorable to me. Look at this one. He looks like he wants to know how your day was and is sad to hear it didn't go well. Now these yeah, that's horrifying. No thanks. Granted, there's only a couple of species of spider out there that can really kill you, like funnel web spiders, black widows, banana spiders, which also give you a wicked but that's neither here nor there. But overall, a single spider isn't much of a threat unless you live in Australia. And even then, have you seen anyone from Australia talk about the spiders down there? I talked to a guy from Australia and asked him about the funnel web spiders and redback spiders, and he's like, "Ah, yeah, they're everywhere. Gotta check your boots and shoes in the morning, they might bite you and kill you." How are they so calm about that? I guess when you live in a place where literally everything is actively trying to kill you on a regular basis, you just get used to it. Insane. If you live in Australia and you're watching this, my Crocodile Dundee hat and didgeridoo are off to you, sir. You are braver than I will ever be. So, arachnophobia. I'll say irrational in most cases. Let's do one more. Thalassophobia, the fear of deep water such as lakes or oceans. This one is actually kinda terrifying if you think about it. We all know the ocean is a big place, but look at this image right here. Holy that is terrifying. And it goes deep. It goes so deep. The deepest point in the ocean, the Challenger Deep, 36,000 feet deep. 10,984 meters. 7 miles. To put that in perspective, this is the Burj Khalifa, the tallest man-made structure on Earth. 13 of the Burj Khalifa is how deep the Challenger Deep is. Not enough? Mount Everest, the tallest point on planet Earth, 29,723 feet. Well, add 2 more Burj Khalifas on top of that and you'll almost reach the depth of the Challenger Deep. And the fact that the ocean is still almost entirely unexplored is frankly quite horrifying to think about. We discover new creatures of the deep all the time, and who knows, Cthulhu is probably vibing down there just waiting to make his move, and we would never know it. Because we can only go so far down. We do not have the technology required to explore the depths on a vast scale. And to imagine yourself stranded in the middle of the ocean, absolutely terrifying. Now with that said, I mean, you don't have to go to the ocean. You live on land. I mean, sometimes the ocean comes to you, but that's not a concern for the majority of individuals. I think it's a rational fear to have if you work on an oil rig or you work on a ship delivering cargo. That's pretty rational. But overall, yeah, it's not too rational, maybe more of a deep-seated dread of the unknown, which is probably the most rational fear. Thanks for watching, subscribe, hit the notification bell, we'll see you later.